All right, today we're going to add and subtract fractions with like denominators, also called common denominators. As a review, denominators are on the bottom of the fraction, the numerators are on the top. So let's say I've got 1/3 of a pizza over here, 1/3. And over here I have 1/8 of a pizza. So if you eat 1/3 of a pizza, you can't just add that to 1/8 of a pizza because our denominators are different. You can't say that this slice, the 1/3 slice, is the same as the 1/8 slice. They're two different sizes, so we can't add those. So that's not what we're doing today. Today we'll say you eat 1/8 of a pizza and then you eat 2/8 of a pizza. That we can do. Okay, so the denominators must be the same. If they're not the same, we have to make them the same, which we'll do tomorrow. So to do this, we add or subtract the numerators while keeping the denominators the same. We do not add the denominators, as you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so let's say, back to this original problem, you ate 1/3 of a pizza, and then you added and ate another third of pizza. What this rule tells us, add and subtract the numerators, so we're going to add the numerators, so you ate 2/3 of a pizza. We don't add the denominators. You did not eat 2/6 of a pizza. You ate 2/3. Okay, so then, if needed, we simplify, which also we could say reduce, the answer, and change it to a mixed number when necessary. All right, so let's do some examples of this. 1/5 plus 2/5. Okay, so step one, make sure the denominators are the same. They are. Next, add the numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3. And keep the denominator the same. Next step then, if needed, simplify. We don't need to simplify, it's already simplified. All right, let's do a subtraction problem. 9/14 minus 5/14. We have like denominators or common denominators, so we subtract the numerators. 9 minus 5 is 4/14. Then our next step is simplify when necessary. Is there a common factor of 4 and 14? Yes, there is. They're both even, so we can divide them both by 2. 2/7. Can we simplify 2 and 7? Nope, so we're done with that. All right, so that's how we add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Now let's add and subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. Let's just add first, and then we'll subtract below. So our next section of notes. We're going to rewrite the problem vertically first. And I'll show you what I mean here. So let's add 1 4/7 plus 1 6/7. When I rewrite it vertically, when we think about a vertical jump, now we have it written vertically. First thing we do is add the fractions. Okay, so we're going to add 4/7 plus 6/7 gives us 10/7. And then we're going to add the whole number. 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, this point's important. Our answer is not 2 and 10/7. If the sum of the fraction in an improper fraction is an improper fraction, then change it to a whole number. Then add the whole numbers together. Okay, so we have 2 and 10/7. 2 and 10/7 is the same as 2 plus 10/7. Well, 10/7 we know is an improper fraction. 7 goes into 10 one time with a remainder 3. So we're going to do 2 plus 1 3/7, which is 3 3/7. 2 and 10/7 is the same as 3 3/7. Okay? And that's already simplified for us. 3 3/7. Here's what else you could do. You can also change it to an improper fraction, then change it back to mixed numbers. You can always do that. Takes longer, but you could do that. So let's take that problem we just did and change them to mixed numbers. 1 4/7 here is the same as 11/7. 1 6/7 is the same as 13/7. So I could always add 11/7 plus 13/7, which gives me 24/7. And then I can see 7 goes into 24 3 times with a remainder of 3/7. So 3 3/7. So there I changed it to an improper fraction. Here I did it as a mixed number. It's faster as a mixed number, but either way works. Okay, let's now subtract mixed numbers with like denominators. Okay, so again, we're going to rewrite the problem vertically. So let's take the problem 3 4/7 minus 1 6/7. Again, we could do what we did on the last one. I'm going to jump to the bottom of your notes. You can also change to improper fractions, then change back to mixed numbers at the end. You can always do that. That's probably the easier way. It just takes longer. Okay, so we're showing you this way. Rewrite the problem vertically. So 3 4/7 minus 1 6/7. We're going to subtract the fractions first. Okay, when we're subtracting the fractions here, 4/7 minus 6/7, you can't do that without borrowing. So we're going to have to borrow. If it's not possible, borrow 1 from the whole number, just like we would do if we had decimals. So we're going to have to borrow from this 3. This 3 is going to be a 2. Now we're not borrowing 10. We're borrowing a whole, which is 7/7. So now I'm taking 7/7 plus 4/7, which gives me 11/7. Okay? So we're going to rewrite it as a fraction and join it with the top fraction. Now we'll subtract the fractions. Now that I've changed 7/7 plus 4/7 is 11/7, I can do 11/7 minus 6/7 is 5/7. And because I borrowed from this 3, it became a 2. 2 minus 1 is 1 5/7. Okay, let me do another one like that. 1 5/12 minus 7/12. Okay, I rewrote it vertically. I cannot do 5/12 minus 7/12. I need to borrow from this 1. This 1 becomes a 0, and I borrowed 12/12. So 12/12 plus 5/12 is 17/12. Okay, so now I'm just doing 17/12 minus 7/12 is 10/12, which is the same as 5/6. Okay. If this part, and then, I'm sorry, I left a blank here, subtract the whole number then here on your notes. All right, let's try this next way. You also can change to improper fractions, then change back to mixed numbers. So if these examples I just did didn't make much sense to you, let's change this mixed number. The borrowing's kind of hard. I know it's a difficult concept. Let's do 3 4/7 minus 1 6/7. Let's change those to improper fractions. So 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25/7, minus 7 times 1 is 7, plus 6, 13/7. So 25/7 minus 13/7 gives you 12/7. And then we need to change this back to a mixed number. 7 goes into 12 one time with a remainder of 5. So my answer is 1 5/7. So my answer here did match my answer over here. It's just going to take you longer, especially when you get to bigger numbers. Okay, so that is how we add and subtract fractions with like denominators.